This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Jacqueline Matter.
Ray Collins. And when you said yellow, you weren't kidding, were you?
I like the color yellow.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, trying to brighten people's day throughout the rest of this work week here.
Good goal. No, you said grab a yellow tie, and I guess mine's kind of muted compared to what you got on there.
I said, yeah, I'm wearing yellow. Grab your yellow.
Yeah. Hey, John.
Hey, how's it going?
Great.
Scalzi, John.
Bond.
Very pretty yellow color,
all
Jacqueline.
right.
James Bond.
Reminds me, there you go. Reminds me of springtime.
Exactly.
We're looking at blooming flowers most everywhere, and allergy sufferers are really complaining.
Yeah, I took my pill this morning.
Did you really? Yeah, it's bad. Hopefully this week we'll get a little bit of rainfall, kind of wash away some of that pollen just a little bit.
My
Hopefully.
car's covered in pollen right now.
I know. It's bad. Taking a look across the region right now, we've got an increase in humidity, which has led to a little bit of patchy fog around the region. So just be a little more cautious. If you're coming up, particularly from the south around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, you'll probably encounter a little bit of haze or fog in the atmosphere. We'll probably see that expand with time across other areas of the Suncoast, but it'll burn off very quickly once the sun rises. Look for daytime high temperatures that'll top out a little less than 20 degrees warmer than we are right now. Probably about 15 degrees warmer, actually. 65 in Arcadia, Wauchula, Lakewood Ranch, the same. Sarasota comes in at 62. Bradenton comes in at 64. Daytime highs today, probably pretty close to the 80-degree mark. About a degree or two above the average for this time of year. No rain in today's forecast, but that is coming down the road. Talk all about it coming up in a few. Back to you guys.
John. Thank you very much. The only slowdown right now you'll see on the maps in Manatee County is mostly between State Road 70 and Cortez on 14th Street North there. There are a couple more buildups just happened on Cortez heading toward 14th Street West, which is also known as US 41, and also a buildup out on east of the interstate on 64. Nothing bad, though. Farther south into Sarasota County, a couple red spots. The first one I caught was east of the interstate on Clark Road as you head toward the interior parts. But also a buildup continues there on US 41 at the base of your screen, heading north up to the Stickney Point Clark area. Not sure why it's so crowded there already at this point of the day. Farther south now in the South County part of our viewing area, a little slowdown around the Nokomis Venice area. Otherwise, all clear at 6:04 on this Wednesday morning. Well, the state is getting closer to sparking Amendment 2, which involves medical marijuana.
That amendment will legalize the use of marijuana for those who get their physician's approval. The Health Quality Subcommittee has passed a bill that would maintain regulations to keep the number of growers only at 7. That bill also requires patients to wait 90 days before they can receive cannabis. Now, it must pass through 2 more committees before it reaches the House floor. The Senate is considering 5 bills on medical marijuana. Now, that new amendment also causing local governments across the state to consider their own regulations for medical marijuana. So much so that commissioners in Northport were supposed to discuss Amendment 2 during a meeting last night. But the topic was pulled at the very last minute because one of the commissioners was out sick.
Back in November, commissioners approved 2 medical marijuana dispensaries. Commissioners agreed that one would be located to the east of Sumter Boulevard, the other to the west. They agreed upon a distance of 1,500 feet from schools and churches and 800 feet from homes. But now city officials say the problem with that buffer distance is that there are only a handful of locations that would work east of Sumter and none to the west of Sumter.
We feel we came in with a very highly conservative attitude the first time, and after further research and analysis, we feel comfortable that we could scale back on both of those and still protect the safety and welfare of our citizens.
They will discuss this issue again at their next meeting, which comes up again on Tuesday.
The wife of rock legend Dickie Betts is behind bars this morning, facing a long list of charges after police say she threatened rowers and coaches from Sarasota crew with a gun. 62-year-old Donna Betts is facing 18 separate charges of aggravated assault with a firearm. Now, she's the wife of the guitarist for the Allman Brothers Band. The incident happened where Sarasota crew practices on Palmetto Avenue at Spanish Point on Monday night. According to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, rowers were getting into the water with their boats when Betts appeared on her dock with a Winchester rifle in hand. She then reportedly pointed the rifle at the rowers and said if they came on her property, they would be shot. That's when witnesses called 911. Take a listen.
One neighbor has a rifle and is pointing it at our kids on the dock. There's a restraining order against this neighbor, and she's on the dock with a rifle right now, pointing it towards the kids.
Deputies say several similar incidents involving Betts have been reported in the past. As of this morning, no bond has been set for her.
An update now on a case of animal abuse in Laurel. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office removed 14 dogs living in deplorable conditions, and the owner was sentenced to nearly a year behind bars. Now, local animal shelters say some of the dogs are ready for adoption.
They were emaciated, had hooks, parasites, and they really needed a lot of love and medical care. Dogs are resilient. They're more resilient than humans. You know, it's impressive how resilient they are, and we have a lot to learn from these animals.
For more on the adoption, go to the Sarasota County Animal Services or the Sarasota Humane Society. All Faiths Food Bank hosting a free breakfast at Michael's on East this morning. The 4th annual campaign against summer hunger is today. The public's invited from 8 to 9. Michael's on East is near Bay Vista and 41. The event begins a 45-day challenge to raise $1.3 million for food programs. The food banks aim to feed 40,000 local kids who are at risk of going hungry this summer.
A free shuttle service will begin operating today in downtown Sarasota. iRide Sarasota is set to kick off at 11 a.m. Free service will be available to the public from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m. every single day. Now, that shuttle will also be in service on Saturday during the downtown farmers market starting at 8 a.m. You can hitch a ride by flagging down the shuttle, calling their direct number, or by using the free mobile app, which will be available soon. And Longboat Key residents, listen up. The Manatee County Area Transit is changing operation of its trolley on the Key. The Herald Tribune reports that the county will instead offer a new on-demand service to residents. It's all due to a nearly 20% decrease in their trolley service over the past year. The new curb-to-curb service is expected to be more personalized and accessible. It'll start running on April 15th every day from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and each ride will cost $1.50 and must be within the Longboat Key service area. Reservations should also be made a day before your planned ride.
Speaking of passengers, the number of passengers who used Sarasota's airport was down last month. The airport director blames 2 issues, the weather and the calendar. Rick Piccolo says last month's snowstorms up north canceled many flights coming into this area, and the fact that February 2016 had an extra day, meaning nearly 5,000 less passengers this year.
One, in the month of February, last year we're comparing it to a leap year, so we lost one day, that's about 4,600 seats. And we also, because our traffic is mainly from the northeast corridor, there was a bad storm in February. We lost almost a whole day's of traffic. We lost 11 flights on February 9th. That's another approximately 1,400 seats.
So Piccolo says don't be alarmed. The other 5 airports in the region have similar numbers so far this year.
So how important is a name? Well, that's the question being raised in Venice over the new city library. The Sarasota County Library staff updating the city council on the new building project, but the hottest topic seems to be the name. Several members of the community fear that the name will be changed from the Venice Library to Sarasota County Public Library of Venice. But the county reassured them and the public that the name will not be changing. Community members also got to see an artist's rendition of what the new building is expected to look like.
Overall, I would give them a high mark. They did have some work sessions with the different people in our community.
From each of those sessions, we reviewed all of the comments and all of the remarks, in addition to having conversations with folks, and that is what informed the design.
Now, that old library was torn down last week. It has been closed for over a year due to mold in the building. Construction on the new building is slated to begin later this year.
Certainly a big issue there. On Sarasota's Bayfront Island Park will begin a colorful transformation today. The Embracing Our Differences 2017 exhibit will be installed at the park at 10 o'clock this morning. The nonprofit organization celebrates and promotes diversity through art and education. Over 10,000 people from across the world, 100 countries, submitted artwork and quotes to be considered for the exhibit. Over 40 winners are from the Suncoast. The exhibit will officially open on Saturday and run through the end of May.
Well, the Imagine School in Northport getting a big donation to its athletics program today. Good News Sports is teaming up with the Tampa Bay Rays to donate nearly $11,000. Rays pitcher Chris Archer will be at the school to present the donation starting at 3 o'clock.
Love it when athletes get involved in the community. I mean, it's great what they do on the field, but use that celebrity platform for more than just throwing a baseball.
I completely agree.
Absolutely. I love it when corporations donate big amounts of money to schools.
You like that too, do you?
That's kind of nice.
Yes.
We have across our region some very calm, quiet weather, but that's maybe going to change a little bit as we head into the weekend. We'll talk about that.
Fair enough.
All right, well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. Those burdensome trips to the grocery store may soon be a thing of the past as Amazon looks into a new service. We'll have all the details coming up.
Don't hate me because I'm blingable. Get your bling on with affordable Spectralite diamonds exclusively at Created Gems in Gold and Silver, where you always get big bling for little ching.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Fun for the whole family. The 25th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Kim Betts, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4. Children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 7th, 8th, and 9th at the Venice Airport Festival grounds.
When you've been in banking for a long time, it's easy to forget what it was like in the beginning. It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years. We know you need mobile banking and lightning-fast solutions, but sometimes you might just need a helping hand. Any bank can make a transaction, but it takes a little more to make a difference. And that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
A unique celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota. La Musica, the annual International Festival of Chamber Music, with renowned musicians from 4 continents. April 3rd through April 12th at the Sarasota Opera House and at Sainer Pavilion. Buy your tickets now.
I'm Haley Wilkes. Wildfire warning. Weather conditions are creating a major risk. Find out what you can do to prevent fires and protect yourself.
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Weeknights at 5.
I love big bling for little ching. That's why I only wear Spectralite diamonds from Created Gems, or I wear nothing at all.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at temperatures across the state that are very mild this morning. Mild enough, and the dew point has risen enough that the temperature and dew point are pretty close together in many locations, particularly in north central Florida. That's led to some patchy fog formation in the areas locally where you see some slightly cooler temperatures. Those are the most likely places for the fog to develop. We have 58 degrees in Arcadia. Northport comes in at 58, 57 degrees in Punta Gorda. And in fact, we have some visibilities here that have been reduced over the last couple of hours to, in places, looks like about a half a mile, according to some satellite imagery and other data. Along the coastline, temperatures are a little bit warmer because of the influence of the Gulf waters on the air close to the coast. 64 degrees Boca Grande, 62 in Venice, Sarasota 62, so is Bradenton. We'll watch those temperatures rise just after, of course, dawn breaks and be pretty close to where they were yesterday. 62 the air temperature at the airport, 60 the dew point. Calm winds, clear skies. Combination of those factors, of course, leading to that potential for fog that'll be here tomorrow as well. So we have an offshore wind flow again today, a general easterly wind flow. That's a warming wind for us. And again, our temperatures will run slightly above average. As far as the red tide goes, good news here. If you're going to take a morning walk on the beach, maybe a sunrise walk, or you're heading there for sunset perhaps, it's going to be nice. Our Mote Marine spotters going out here to check things out and see how much irritant is actually in the air from the red tide bloom. Didn't find any at any of the area beaches, so that's good news. The latest sampling reports from University of South Florida did find some locations with moderate amounts of red tide in the water, particularly around the Ringling Bridge. But other places, concentrations very, very low at most locations, in fact. So good news on the red tide front. Onshore wind flow this afternoon will keep the coastline just a little bit cooler because of the relatively cooler water temperatures by afternoon when the land starts to warm up. Across the region, dry conditions prevail. In fact, we really do need some rainfall. Not like they're getting back west, though. They're getting serious weather here after some strong storms and tornadoes rumbled through parts of Oklahoma and Texas yesterday. That same line continues to press eastward today, now bearing down on parts of Dallas, soon into Houston. Also up around Kansas City, some pretty impressive storminess there. If you're traveling today to this part of the country, or even to Louisiana Delta region later in the afternoon, there'll be airport delays because of those storms. In fact, a bullseye exists for the potential of large hail, gusty winds, and tornadoes as well. We're quiet here in the state of Florida. A frontal boundary gradually drifting toward the state of Florida promises us a chance of rainfall Friday night once it gets here, but no severe weather. It will basically fall apart on its trek to Florida. So we'll look for about a 30 to 40% chance of a Friday shower or slight rainfall. Then clearing just in time for the weekend. Lower relative humidity, slightly cooler. Back to you.
Thank you, John. A little more built up there on the roads around downtown Bradenton. Some red on the map on the 301, heading actually southbound. Farther south into Sarasota County, we'll see a few slowdowns, particularly right now. We see one on Bee Ridge Road heading east toward the interstate around Shade and Tuttle there. And then farther south, one more check of our maps in the viewing area. We'll see, really the only slowdown I can see is that up at State Road 72, which is Clark Road, as it heads toward the interior of the state. 6:18 right now and still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
An investigation underway into a burglary that left 3 teenagers dead in Oklahoma. Why police say charges may not be coming for the shooter.
Hey everybody, I'm Chef Bob Vitello. I'm here with Chef Mark Positano. Mark's going to tell us what we're making today.
We're going to make a nice filet steak with a creamy jalapeno onion sauce. All right?
You always look so happy when you do this stuff.
I love doing proteins. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little salt, pepper, okay? And one thing I like to tell people is when you're cooking proteins and steaks and chicken, always have your proteins to room temperature, okay? Just so it's not cold out of the fridge. All right? So we're gonna add some of that.
How long should it be out?
Probably about 20 minutes, probably about the safest part.
I know that, I just want them to know.
I'm sure.
I'm not that dumb. Go ahead.
So we're gonna add some onions to this and let them caramelize. And we caramelize, we're bringing the natural sugars out of it. All right? Then we have some jalapeno. All right? If you want it less spicy, take the seeds out of it. All right.
No less spicy.
Nah, you know, I like a little more spicy. Yeah. All right. And we're gonna add a little bit of butter. And once again, I like my butter.
Mark with his butter again.
I like my butter. Okay. But you can use just, you know, oil if you'd like. A little bit of Worcestershire, if I'm saying that right. I always say it wrong. All right.
Nobody knows. Say whatever way you want.
All right. So we're just getting that nice and brown. Let that cook in the sauce. And then we're at a little bit of sour cream. Okay? So this is a quick little pan sauce, cooking the steaks. All right?
Smells wonderful.
Thank you,
well,
sir.
What we're going to do here is finish this steak up.
A little brown sugar.
Everybody, stop by our Simple Meals kitchens starting tomorrow and pick up the wonderful recipe and all the cool ingredients. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
My Hometown Fest is coming to Nathan Benderson Park Saturday, April 15th. Join us for culinary favorites from across the U.S. paired with your favorite craft beers. There's also great live music and activities for adults and kids. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
Since 2014, Addiction Hope and Helpline has answered calls for recovery and treatment 24/7, 365 days a year. If you're depressed, drinking, using drugs, or taking pills, call now and talk to someone who cares.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Most insurance covers substance abuse. You can get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call 800-622-1941. 800-622-1941.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Tickets are going fast for My Hometown Fest, being held from noon till 5 p.m. Saturday, April 15th at Nathan Benderson Park. Enjoy foods from 40 area restaurants, 60-plus craft beers, live music, and lots of fun. Buy your tickets today at myhometownfest.org.
Pretty shot of the Ringling Causeway. I'd like to report a car coming this way.
Hey, look, some traffic. Usually we don't see a whole lot of traffic on there in the morning at this hour.
Boy, 12 hours from now, that is a busy spot.
I know, you do not want to be on that roadway.
Folks from Longboat Key and St. Armand's coming this way for dinner. It gets jam-packed. Welcome back, 6:24 on a Wednesday morning.
Well, a deadly home invasion is under investigation in Oklahoma, where 3 teenagers were killed after police say they tried to break into a home.
Reporter Diane Macedo has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, 3 Oklahoma teenagers are dead after a brazen burglary attempt turned fatal.
There was a short exchange of words and then gunfire happened.
Police say 3 armed teens broke into this Oklahoma home in broad daylight.
I thought it was thunder. I just heard something. I had the doors closed.
After an argument, police say 23-year-old resident Zach Peters opened fire with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, killing all 3.
Preliminary investigation, it looks like it was self-defense, maybe a case of stand your ground. However, you know, it's still really early in the investigation.
This morning, Peters has not been charged with any crime, but 21-year-old Elizabeth Marie Rodriguez, the alleged getaway driver, has been arrested under an Oklahoma law. And coming up at 7 a.m., legal expert Sunny Hostin weighs in on the case. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
Hey, allergy muddlers. Are you one sneeze away from being voted out of the carpool? Try Zyrtec. Zyrtec starts working hard at hour 1 and works twice as hard when you take it again the next day. Stick with Zyrtec. Muddle no more.
Try Rhinocort Allergy Spray for powerful nasal allergy relief.
The average American visits about 7 different websites before booking a hotel. I totally get that. We want to make sure that we get a great hotel for the best price. But why only 7 when there are so many more out there? Next time, before you book, check on Trivago. Trivago compares live prices from more than 150 different websites to make sure that you find the best price for your ideal hotel. Hotel Trivago.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the blingiest of them all? You are, with Spectralite diamonds, all gorgeous and affordable. Only found at Creative Gems, where you always get big bling for little ching.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Watch ABC7's Osprey Cam on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Opera TV. And get an exclusive bird's eye view of Sarah and Soda, our own resident Osprey couple. With ABC7's state-of-the-art high-definition Osprey Cam with night vision, you'll get an up-close and personal look at all the Osprey action live 24/7. And you might just be the first to spot an egg. Search ABC7 on your streaming device. Download the free ABC7 channel app and click on Osprey Cam.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
2 years ago, my son was born. Now he's running, playing, and learning to speak. When I look at him, I can't help but to see how free he is. I want my son to have the same freedom when he grows up. Protect our freedom of speech, not just for us, but for the future generations.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Gourmet goodies for our four-legged friends, plus the musical Blood Brothers at Venice Theater and the brand new Ben's Pretzels in the kitchen.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Don't hate me because I'm blingiful. Get your bling on with affordable Spectralite diamonds exclusively at Creative Gems in gold and silver, where you always get big bling for little ching.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, chasing storms turns deadly in Texas for 3 daredevils. We'll go there live.
Plus, a new measure making its way through the Florida legislature could save the state millions while keeping drug offenders out of jail.
And a shocking story about a cell phone charger that left a man burned. Grab your coffee. It's time for Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And welcome back. Good morning. It's 6:30. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Certainly a beautiful day shaping up so far. Lots of pollen, though.
I used to have a black car for years, and now I don't, because, boy, when you've got a black car in Florida this time of year, it becomes a yellow car, like your dress.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pollen color. She arrived
Appreciate that.
Her dress was black when she arrived. Got a dose of pollen.
When I walked in the door.
Pollen stuff out there, John.
Sorry, what'd you say?
A lot of pollen in the air right now.
Man, is that true. It sure is true. It's been all summer long. You know, we've had a very warm winter, and, you know, that has helped to create early blooms of pollen, and it still continues on right now. We could use a little rainfall, kind of wash everything away. I know there are lots of people I meet out there day to day who are complaining about the amount of pollen in the air, and I'm not sure that the humidity helps all that much. We're looking at higher humidity today than we had over the last several days, and that's led to some patchy fog around the region. Around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, we have visibilities that have been reduced to about 1.5 miles to half a mile, so watch for that on your morning trek around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, where it's a little bit cooler, 59 in Punta Gorda, helping to produce a little bit more of a fog potential there. 65 degrees in Northport, 64 Mayaca, Sarasota at 62, Bradenton at 64, Venice at 66. Top it off today near the 80-degree mark where we did yesterday, a degree or two above the average. We'll have the complete forecast for you in just a few.
All right, hot day shaping up. Taking a look at your Suncoast traffic this morning, State Road 70 and 301 seeing some congestion, especially 301 in both directions. I-75 looking clear throughout Manatee County, also looking pretty good. As we head into Sarasota County, a little bit of congestion on 41 throughout that area towards north of Sarasota. Also Fruitville Road as you head to I-75. Now as we head into South County, let's take a look at the maps over there. Pretty quiet throughout that area, a little bit towards the warm Mineral Springs area. You can see a little bit of congestion, but other than that, no accidents to report on this Wednesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour, 3 storm chasers were killed tracking a tornado in Texas.
That's right. Some of that damage that was left by those storms in Rockwall, Texas, is just outside of Dallas. There's been reports of power outages, trees down, shingles off roofs, homes destroyed. Now, a confirmed twister was actually reported in that area, but it was a fatal collision, not the twister, that proved deadly. Reed Binion has more.
About 50-50. Some of the people says you're crazy, and the other half says I want to go with you.
Storm chaser Kelly Williamson reflecting on the risks and rewards of his perilous profession.
Every storm's got something about its own personality. You know, it's just like a person.
That profession proving deadly Tuesday. Williamson, one of 3 storm chasers killed in a crash while pursuing a tornado in Texas. Police say it happened when a black Suburban driven by Williamson ran through a stop sign and collided with a Jeep driven by another storm chaser. Williamson, his passenger, and the driver of the Jeep were all pronounced dead at the scene. While the tornado itself may not have caused the accident, severe weather had been sweeping the area.
Fog, heavy rain. There was a tornado that was spotted just a few miles west of here.
Slippery roads and low visibility maybe, but storm chasing's biggest hazard, according to Williamson, was one that he himself highlighted in an interview just weeks before his death.
The biggest danger out there is the other chasers, and the grandma that's trying to get her kids. The tornado sirens are going off, and she's trying to get them to safety. You know, you've got to watch out for everybody out there.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Other news now, the manhunt continues for a 15-year-old student and her former teacher. Police say it's possible Elizabeth Thomas and her 50-year-old teacher, Tad Cummins, are now in Mexico because there have been no credible sightings of the two since they disappeared 2 weeks ago. The district attorney said Cummins had plenty of time to get to Mexico undiscovered after the kidnapping.
The head start they had of 24 hours. It's more than enough time to get to the border and to get across before the alarm was sounded.
He also said Cummins is a religious man who possibly is playing the role of a missionary south of the border, making it easier for the two to blend in with similar groups.
An update now on the investigation into a shooting that left 2 undercover police officers in Miami-Dade County injured yesterday morning. 2 people are now in custody in connection to that shooting. They were found in a hotel near Miami International Airport. Police received an anonymous tip that led them to that hotel, but they aren't saying what connection those men have to the shooting. The injured officers were taken to the hospital and are expected to fully recover. They've been identified as Terrence White and Charles Woods. White was with the department for 26 years, while Woods is an 11-year veteran. The man accused of shooting and killing a mother and her 8-year-old son and also wounding 4 others faced a judge for the first time. Police say Alan Cash went on a shooting spree in his ex-girlfriend's home on Monday morning after what started as an argument. Cash also critically wounded the boy's grandmother and 7-year-old brother. Bullets also struck 2 bystanders while Cash fled, including an 18-year-old who was waiting for the school bus. Fortunately, a police officer nearby heard the gunfire and then chased Cash down into a nearby apartment complex. Police later found an AK-47 rifle in his car. He is being held without bond after a judge appointed him a public defender.
A new plan making its way through Tallahassee today could keep certain drug offenders out of jail. A House subcommittee is approving a bill that would change sentencing guidelines for those found guilty of drug possession. It would allow offenders to enter a diversion program, not go behind bars. It would apply only to possession charges, not to manufacturing or selling. Studies show the bill would save the state over $130 million over the next 5 years by reducing the inmate population by about 1,000 statewide. Meantime, a bill that would require elementary schools to provide at least 20 minutes of recess each day is set for a vote in Tallahassee. Under this plan, school boards would have the option to include recess within the gym class requirement. Beyond that, schools would be required to provide 20 minutes of recess only on days when gym classes are not being held. Currently, only 11 school districts in the state officially require recess.
In consumer news this morning, the future of online privacy now in President Trump's hands. The House of Representatives voted to repeal internet privacy protections approved by the Federal Communications Commission during the Obama administration. Now, the Senate already voted along party lines to undo that ruling last week. Those rules would have required internet service providers to get your permission before collecting and sharing your data. But now it could allow providers to sell your information about your browsing habits. That resolution now goes to Trump's desk to be signed. The White House, though, says it is strongly supporting that repeal.
Wells Fargo is paying up now for a scandal involving employees who set up bank accounts for customers without their permission. The company says it'll pay $10 million to settle a class action lawsuit. It is the first private settlement that Wells Fargo has reached since the company paid $185 million to federal and local authorities late last year. The settlement includes customers who had accounts opened without their permission or were signed up for a product they did not agree to as far back as 2009. It comes after authorities said its employees opened the accounts to meet unrealistic sales goals. Listen to this story about your cell phone charger. An Alabama man was nearly killed by his phone charger. It seems he was wearing a chain that slipped between the charger and an extension cord into the wall, and doctors say he was hit with 110 volts of electricity. Nearly killed him. He's being treated for burns on his neck and hands.
Charge your phone away from you. Charge it the next day. It's not worth your life.
He is now going to go on the motivational speaking tour around the country to preach the value of keeping the charger away from the bed and hopefully save lives.
And what's also a good point about this is I've seen other stories about phones that actually overheat or blow up. It's not just the charger. It can also be the actual phone that can kind of overheat and cause issues as well and catch fire to your bed. So be careful out there.
I heard keeping the phone, near your head when you sleep is not always a good thing either.
Right, right.
I've tried to keep the phone outside the room, but I can't.
Yeah, our alarms would never go off. We'd never be here.
There's that too, yeah. 6:39 right now. The new owner of the DeSoto Square Mall is putting aside $7 million to update the mall.
The managing director and owner want to make the mall an exciting destination for Bradenton residents to shop, dine, and enjoy entertainment. The mall plans to add new retail stores and also some freestanding restaurants. They say they're in talk with a national movie theater as well as food court restaurants and 3 sit-down full-service restaurants as well.
This improves the condition of the community, new jobs, more people can buy things, and this moves the economy.
Everybody loves to shop at Costco. So if you want to make it a success, do something that the common person wants.
The first phase of that project is expected to start next month. A giant hole taking over a parking lot in a South Bradenton shopping center. Take a look at this. This hole sits in the southeast corner of Cortez Plaza East, and shop owners say it's been there for at least the past year. It gets larger every time it rains and has now taken over several handicap parking spots. Public safety officials say the underground drainage system is to blame. It's something Manatee County officials say they're keeping an eye on, but since the lot is privately owned, it's up to the shopping center's management company to make those repairs. County officials say the company is working to get permits in order to fix that lot. And Amazon shoppers, listen up. They have new grocery efforts that just reached a new level of convenience for shoppers. Amazon Fresh Pickup allows customers to order groceries and have them loaded directly into their cars by service agents. Amazon says users can pick a time slot and get their groceries on their schedule. The service is free for Amazon Prime subscribers, but it's only limited to Amazon employees for right now. A major limitation that Amazon faces is creating enough pickup locations for customers nationwide. The only 2 current pickup locations are in Seattle near the company's headquarters. I think that's a pretty cool idea.
Good idea, yeah. Do you recall there was a convenience store, I think on Bay Vista or Bee Ridge, where you could sit in your car and kind of pull up to the store and they say, what do you need? And they say, milk, and they bring you milk. There was a drive-through convenience store on Bay Vista or Bee Ridge.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
It's still there.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, what is it called?
I'll let y'all think about that.
I can't remember. It's off Weber, right?
Oh, it's on Weber. That's why I couldn't find
Weber and Beneva, I believe.
Ah,
yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
It'll come to me. All right. It'll come to me. We used to buy our ice cream there all the time.
Ooh, yum.
Yes, good ice cream.
Still exists.
Anyway.
Was it, our producer is telling us farm stores?
Farm stores. I believe that might be it. Farm store. Yep.
All right.
That's it. Jim Chops there, apparently.
Stay with us, folks.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
I'm Haley Wilkes. Wildfire warning. Weather conditions are creating a major risk. Find out what you can do to prevent fires and protect yourself.
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Looking at temperatures across the state that are very mild, but a little bit higher in humidity across the state as well. And that's led to some patchy fog around the region, particularly around the mouth of Charlotte Harbor, where air temperatures are a little bit cooler, extending on up toward Arcadia. We have some reports there of half-mile visibility in some locations. So just allow yourself a little extra time. It's not a serious issue and certainly will burn off very quickly in the next couple hours. 62 degrees along the coastline, pretty popular number. Inland a little bit cooler, closer to the 60 mark. The official air temperature at the airport is 62 with a dew point pretty close to it. And calm winds, clear skies. It's a nice start to the morning once again today. Titan radar not picking up anything really across either the peninsula or even out in Atlantic waters. Over the last couple of days, we've had a few isolated showers over the Atlantic waters and even a few over the distant Gulf waters, but nothing like that currently. We do have an area of low pressure spinning around back in the lee side of the Rockies, moving into the central plains, that's producing some very heavy weather currently from Kansas City down through Dallas and within the next couple of hours into Houston. So if you're traveling to that area, airport delays. This whole low gradually drifts eastward, carrying the severe weather threat with it into parts of the Arklatex later today. The frontal boundary itself will eventually wind up on our doorstep Friday night, but I don't see much of a severe weather threat. If there is any severe weather in Florida, it'll likely be in the northern part of the state. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, driving a southeasterly wind flow our way again today, increasing moisture day by day over the next several days. That leads to warm afternoons. No rain today or tomorrow either, but then we wait Friday, probably Friday afternoon into evening, for a chance of showers. Little sea breeze keeping the coast a little bit cooler today, while inland areas will probably get into the mid-80s. We're looking at a little bit of cloud cover along the interior sections, just as we have seen over the last several days with the sea breeze collision, and then we wait for that frontal boundary to produce a line of showers that moves into our area Friday afternoon, evening, something like that. We need the rain. We're down about 5.5 inches since the beginning of the year, and the fire danger index has changed over the last 24 hours. We now have DeSoto County in the high category and Lee County coming in the extreme fire danger risk category. So things are getting worse in terms of fire danger. Hopefully a little Friday rain will help those values. 40% chance of a Friday shower followed by clearing over the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. Some buildups right now. First off, from Palmetto to downtown Bradenton on the DeSoto Bridge, the one closer to the Memorial Hospital in downtown Bradenton. Also, look at that area between 301 heading southbound towards Sarasota. Big buildup already at this hour of the day. Farther south in the viewing area and the Sarasota County area, nothing in the red right now, just a little slowdown on 301 heading north through the Newtown area. And then south into the southern area of the viewing area, you'll see a little bit of a slowdown. The far lower right corner of your screen, you'll see a little construction tool there. But also 75 northbound, an accident before Jacaranda. That's at 193, so be aware of that if you're heading northbound, which many folks do from Northport towards Sarasota for their daily commute.
Well, it's an age-old debate among fitness gurus. What kind of exercise is best for weight loss? Classic cardio, strength training, or a combination of the two?
An 8-month study from Duke University followed 119 overweight volunteers and found that, wait for it, cardio is the winner. But don't put down the weights just yet. The group that did both cardio and strength training had the most improved fat to lean muscle mass. So experts say do both. Next time you hit the gym, start with weights and finish with cardio. But don't forget, when it comes to losing weight, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. So don't make those bad choices around the refrigerator. Really a helpful story.
It really is. And you know, sometimes I used to always do cardio before I would do weights, but it's interesting that this study says otherwise. So I'm going to have to switch up my routine, it looks like.
Yeah, mix it up. Good idea. A woman in England is behind bars for listening to Ed Sheeran's music too much. In fact, one song, Sonia Bryce loved the song called Shape of You. She played it over and over, top of her volume. Landlord called police, court order. She didn't stop, sentenced to a week in jail.
Oh my
when
gosh.
she got out, she continued blasting the music and was sentenced to 8 weeks in jail. Can't make this stuff up. The judge also ordered her to behave as a reasonable and responsible adult and find some other songs to listen to as well.
Oh my gosh, I wonder how Ed Sheeran feels about that one. Well, Sarasota is preparing for the opening of Sailor Circus, Once Upon a Circus. It's centered around fairy tales and timeless stories all coming to life. The show will feature new acts and acts that have not been performed by the group for several years. It'll include 800 costumes and music from classics like Cinderella, Fantasia, and Beauty and the Beast. The show will run at the Sailor Circus Arena from April 11th through April 15th, and I definitely have got to see that. I already was impressed with the Sailor Circus when I went a few months ago, but to combine Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, like, sold.
You might go back-to-back nights.
I know.
We'll recap local news headlines after this. Stay with us.
These are our heroes. They have sacrificed so much to serve our country. And now Granny Nannies is truly honored to serve them. We're here and we're ready to help. Call us today.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089, 800-329-3089.
Join us this Saturday night at 7 o'clock and 11:30 for the House to Home Show, featuring some of the finest homes for sale right here on the Suncoast. Whatever your taste, you're certain to find properties that satisfy your particular buying preferences. Presented by SWC Properties right here on ABC 7.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
At Granny Nannies, we provide your loved ones with the care they deserve, compassionate and experienced help right where you need it most, at home. Visit us at grannynannies.com.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Welcome back, 6:54. Here are the stories we're following for you today.
Dogs recovered from deplorable conditions in Laurel are now up for adoption. The owner was sentenced to nearly a year in jail. A free shuttle service begins this morning in downtown Sarasota. These souped-up golf carts will serve the downtown core and operates on tips for the drivers, but taxpayers are underwriting a $200,000 contract for that one. And you still have time to get to a free breakfast at Michael's on East today. Not bad. All Faiths Food Bank hosting the breakfast in the Midtown Plaza on 41 near Bay Vista in Michael's on East. It's their 4th annual campaign against summer hunger for kids. It goes from 8 until 9 this morning only.
All right, taking a look at the traffic maps this morning. Traffic increasing throughout Manatee County. A little bit of congestion throughout State Road 70 as well as 301, seeing an increase in traffic as we head into Sarasota County. Traffic picking up throughout its normal spots. Bee Ridge and Clark Road seeing some traffic towards I-75. And in South County, there is an accident off of Jacaranda Boulevard at I-75 in the northbound lane. So keep an eye out for that if you're heading into Sarasota County or Manatee County throughout South County. John?
Well, it's kind of a nice start to the day. It's pleasant outside. Temperatures are comfortable, but there is a little patchy fog. Watch for that. It'll burn off pretty quickly, leaving us with a daytime high that's above average by a few degrees, around 81. Chance of Friday rains followed by weekend clearing.
All right, take a look at this. This is something you may expect to see in Australia, but not in Detroit, Michigan. People living in one neighborhood got to see a man out on a walk with, get this, a kangaroo. Javon Stacks is a handler with an exotic zoo. He takes the kangaroo named Darwin and many other animals like snakes and birds and mammals to schools, libraries, and other events for a chance to teach kids about wildlife. In this particular situation, they paraded through the neighborhood with a kangaroo. Stacks says his traveling zoo is licensed, but it is illegal to carry exotic animals throughout that area.
It's a tall kangaroo, John.
Yeah, I don't know who was walking who there.
Exactly.
Yeah, neighbors were shocked.
Pretty funny.
Enjoy your Wednesday.
Stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next.